welcome to IndiraasWorld again. In case you haven't been following me, I'm on Instagram, on IndiraasWorld, and please subscribe. And of course, don't forget to like me. That's a given. Today we're going to be doing a show called FILO Me Up. As self-explanatory, it's filopastry with lean meat. This whole week seems to be all about meat, but then following week, I promise you it'll be a lot of winter vegetables. Don't forget to look in on my the Wednesday show, of course, which was stew, and you're going to love that because it's such a winter warmer. Oh my God, I am so allergic to the F word, fat. Hence, my filopastry is low in fat, 1.7 for 100 grams, out of which only 0.25 is saturated. My lean mince is only 5% lean mince. So, you can't do better than that. So let's get on with this wonderful winter warmer. So into my hot frying pan, I've thrown in my hot oil, needless to say, heated that through, put in my onions, my mince, some Worcester sauce, ketchup, some seasoning of salt and pepper, and then I'll move on to part two. Okay, now this is beginning to look really good, so I'm adding in my halloumi, which I have grated already, and I've some fresh parsley, lovely fresh herbs. And I'm going to thicken it with about a tablespoon of flour because I don't want it to seep through into the pastry. That is looking absolutely wonderful and smelling even better. Now that's all done. I mean, it's all ready to go into the filopastries, which is exactly what I'm going to do in a minute. So it smells great, it looks great, and I'm sure it's going to taste great. So here I go. Now I've been told that people gained about 1.5 pounds to 3 pounds during the lockdown. So I decided right beginning of the lockdown that was not going to happen. So I decided it's in the gym, and I have been going to the gym regularly. And of course, this being the hub of my house, the kitchen, everyone gravitates here 10 times a day. I had to make sure everything is healthy, which is why I started this whole thing. So I hope all of you will follow me because I really do enjoy this. Right, what I've done is I've just put a little, dusted down the board here with a little flour because I don't want the filopastry to stick. Obviously it's sticked out of the fridge and quite cold, and I'm layering it, but I'm staggering the layers, and I'm going to brush that with very little olive oil so we keep it a bit moist. Right, I haven't made my filopastry myself. You get it off the shelves in the supermarket, so I do find it a lot easier than having to go through all that myself. So you can find it usually, I think, in the baking section in the supermarkets. But of course, if you prefer to make it yourself, good luck. Now I've used about 4 little slices of it. They're very thin and not very much olive oil, just enough to moisten it. I'm not going crazy with all the oils and so on. I've preheated my oven now to 175 degrees, so it should be almost ready for me to fill in, and which is what I'm about to do right now. Do not forget that you really have to seal it so it doesn't open up. What I've done is I've just made a little bit of a glue of flour and water, which is my edible glue for this. Don't try using polyfiller and stuff, it really doesn't work. And definitely not super glue, that would really not work. Well, I've got my oven preheated, I've got my baking tray out here, I've put a little bit of baking paper on the top. I've remembered to seal everything up, oil the baking paper a bit. I'm going to pop this in, but don't forget to brush with egg white so it does not burn. This also gives it a lovely glaze and it looks all shiny and far more edible for sure. So I've done that now. So it's ready to go into the oven.
I travel the globe to hear you sing, like pilgrims to Graceland, hear the King. No fancy moves, no studs, no chains, rock the soul, haunt the brain, rock-a-roo, you got it all, you got it all.
Thank you for watching now, and I'm going to see you next time. You know what? It's going to get better, I promise. Even though this is pretty darn good. Well, bye now.